Top 5 baits. Top 5 baits. What are the best 5 baits this week? Top 5 baits. It's time for top 5 baits, folks. Folks at home, out there in the interweb world, let me know when y'all have joined me. Whoo! I'm telling you, it's a warming trend. I always know when it's a warming trend, guys. This itchiness, this not breathing, I always know when there's a warming trend going on. For sure. Warm night last night a little bit. Warm night tonight, 70 degrees. Like, there's definitely a warming trend happening. And my faithful warming trend detection device never lets me down. Always know when it's happening. It's a great night tonight. We're going to talk about the best 5 baits. The fish should bite really good tomorrow. Pretty good on Saturday, hopefully, for all you guys that are the weekend warriors. And we're going to announce some winners, kind of announce the winners from the Smash Tech giveaway, from the giveaway challenge that we had this week. Somebody had an amazing day on Rayburn on a 6 cents unknown product. Now, is this an unknown, like top secret prototype product that you got your hands on? Or is this just like you don't want to tell nobody unknown? Hey, what's up, everybody? We just going flying off the shelf tonight. You might say that this live stream has flown off the hinges at this point. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do top 5 baits first, then we'll do giveaways. How about that? Oh, that's a hook in the hand. First, top 5 bait. Stop me if you've seen this before. 6 cents Quake 70 in the Tiger Truce color has been probably the most consistent bite getter for me over the last week. Now, I don't anticipate using this much tomorrow on the warming trend, but I will be using it on Saturday as the water starts cooling back down after the front, and definitely on Sunday, this will really come into play. There you go. That's a great one. This one works whether it's warming, cooling, or somewhere in between. I'm throwing the 6 cents Movement 80X. Lava Truce is the preferred color for me right now. And the 6, good grief, Charlie Brown. Holy cow, I'm sorry about that, guys. That doesn't normally happen. Lava Truce, preferred color in the 6 cents Movement 80X. By the way, guys, a lot of 6 cents baits in the cold time of year. We throw a lot of these hard baits, reaction baits. So, when you go to 6centsfishing.com to order some of these awesome baits, be sure you punch in that code, your Lake Fork Guide, and get a 10% discount on all orders. Gotta love that. Another bait that's been really dependable, whether it's cold or warm, day in, day out, 5-inch black and blue soft plastic stick bait. Oh my goodness. What is going on? It never does this. This is really frustrating. I'm really sorry about that, guys. So I'm going to hold the phone with one hand the rest of the night so it doesn't happen again. 5-inch stick bait right there. Okay. Let's see what we can get going over here. I may need my lovely assistant. I actually have a guy in the background. He's being all like silent and shy tonight. Good. But if my lovely assistant would step in here to help me, see if I can get these baits. This is a really official thing we got going here. I'm holding the camera with my hand so it doesn't fall over since it seems to want to jump. But a Texas red biffle bug, believe it or not, especially with the warming trend tomorrow and probably the remaining warm water temps on Saturday, if you're fishing a target-rich environment for flipping, the biffle bug has been getting a lot of really good bites as well. Shallow grass edges like the alligator weed, stuff like that. If you can find those edges while holding some fish, man, they'll eat that biffle bug. Little stumps in shallow water, they'll eat the biffle bug. And last but not least, this is kind of the sneaky, the new entry to the top 5. This is a 6 cents Divine Underspin Head and a Smash Tail Junior. This joker right here will flat catch them right now, boys. Definitely throw this. There's 5 baits for you guys to try this weekend. Sorry about the disruptive nature of my phone deciding to take flying leaps off the side of the cliff. That was insane. All right, I need a number 1 through 100. Hey, assistant, pull your phone up. What I need you to do, hold on, folks, not 1 through 100, not 1 through 100. That's not the number. Pull up the Monday video and see how many comments are on it. Holy cow, there's a lot of people throwing numbers out here. You know what? Never mind. I'm going to go with these three right here. I'm going to go with 96, 76, and 34. Okay. What I'm going to do, just so you guys know, it's totally fair. You can go verify it yourself. 96. I will go to the 96th comment on YouTube. That person that commented to Smash That Custom Baits for the 96th time will win the bait package from Heath, and I will reply to your comment and give you a number to send your address to so that we can ship your baits to you. 76 will be the winner on Facebook. The 76th comment on Facebook will win. And what was the last number I said? 96, 76, and what? I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what it was. Not 12. 34, because I just saw 34. 2 people in a row said 34. Okay, so 34, the 34th comment on Instagram will be the winner, and I will be commenting, replying to all you guys to make sure that we're giving you the number to send your address to so that you guys get the package. Wow, this is not a great live stream so far. Not my best effort, Chris.
I can't find the comments.
It's okay. I'll deal with it later. I've got it now. Write those numbers down for me, will you? 96, 76, and 34. Okay, questions. Who's got questions? I know a bunch of you guys dropped questions in. Up top, up top, up top. Have you ever had a square bill break off on a brand new 6-inch lure? No. I don't know that I've ever had a bill break off. The only time I broke a 6-inch lure is when I had a guy throw one into a concrete piling on a bridge from point blank range. That one broke. I don't ever remember breaking any other ones. So, Cap Ron's in the house. What's up, my little pocket marine? Hey, look, guys, Captain Ron's here. Look, it's a fishing guide, but smaller. Magnolia, Texas in the house. Appreciate you joining us, Bobby Spang. Somebody said they had a 6-cent bait that they fished for a couple hours and it broke brand new out of the box. 100,000% email 6 Cents Fishing on their website. Let them know. They will stand behind the product and take care of you. For sure. Me and my brother-in-law have fished Lake Fork like 20 times, and every time it kicks our rear end. Is it just a really difficult lake? It can be. So Lake Fork can be a really difficult lake to get bites on. There's a ton of pressure. There's a ton of bait and life in the lake, so the fish aren't ever hungry. Like, they don't ever have to eat. They just kind of eat when they want to. And there's a big high percentage of Florida strain influence on these fish. Florida strain bass are just more picky, temperamental, moody, I guess you might say. So, yeah, it can be tough. But and also the other part is there's a whole lot of big fish in Lake Fork. Like, there's a higher percentage of big fish in Lake Fork than there is in most fisheries. Well, big fish are kind of harder to get to bite than small fish. So, a lot of things going on, and it can be tough. I think that's why there's so many guys that run successful guide businesses out there, because there is a lot of people that want to unlock the mystery of the big bass on Lake Fork that do go through all those conditions that we just talked about. What is my thought on Hydra Wave? I've never been a real big believer in that, but I have a lot of people have sworn by them. I'm not trying to knock them, but I've just never really been a big believer in them. Do you ever fish tournaments? If so, what's your game plan leading up? This is a great question. I don't fish tournaments hardly ever anymore, like very, very rarely. I fished one this year in December at Lake Welsh and was lucky enough to win it. That was awesome. It was a ton of fun. What is my game plan leading up to? My game plan leading up to tournament is to win. And that's kind of where it ends. Like, that's the only game plan. I just win. I just want to, I don't care. I only want to catch 5. I'll catch 4. I won a tournament one time, a long time ago, many years ago. I won a tournament with 2 fish. And maybe on this week's podcast, that'll be one of our crazy tournament stories that we tell, was the time that me and Zach Watts won a fishing tournament with 2 fish. Like, I don't even care how many bites I get. I just want to catch big fish and I want to win. Like, that's it. Best pattern for a flooded lake. Oh, God. Flooded, i.e. Rayburn, like up in the parking lots and the trees and stuff. Cover a lot of water. Try everything. Pay really close attention to every bite you get. Try to remember exactly how they bit it, exactly where it was, what the depth was around it, what the structure was around it. Like, it's hard. It's hard. They spread out. You got to cover a bunch of ground and pay really close attention to every single clue. What works best in 50-degree water? Well, it depends on the 50-degree water that you're talking about. If you're talking about 50-degree muddy water, it's totally different than 50-degree clear water. The thing that I will tell you is baits that have tight movement, little tight kick and swim baits, lipless crankbaits, jerk baits are always a good option. They can work in both. But that's a really open-ended question because there's a whole lot more factors involved there than just 50-degree water temps. I'm going to tell you, when the water was 45 degrees and it warmed up to 50, the fish started biting. But when the water was 60 degrees last week and it dropped back to 50, the fish didn't bite hardly at all. So there's a whole lot of things that go on there. Table Rock Lake. So 50-degree water on Table Rock Lake. If it's warming to 50 degrees, I would say that, yeah, deeper suspending jerk baits. Man, that little fish head spin with that little swim bait that I just showed, that divine underspin from 6 cents with a little small swim bait, that can be a really good thing in cold water on lakes like that. Nick Woolridge in the house. Appreciate you joining us. What's up, buddy? Somebody says, just catch big fish, ? After the MLF rant with Captain Ron on the podcast. Yes, I think that the MLF is a more exciting product on TV. I think they have a lot more eyeballs. I think they're doing a lot more to grow the sport right now than any other tour. And I think they will be a bigger deal. I don't know that I've ever fished in a total weight. I've never fished in a total weight format. So for me, my tournament fishing experience has been about best 5. So yeah, that's my game plan. Now, if I get invited to fish some tournament where we're going to count total weight, then I'll have a completely different game plan. I did say my first and only game plan for tournament fishing is to win. Right now, the tournaments that I've fished in my history, I need to catch 5 big fish. But if I get in, like if some small tour or local tour or whatever is doing total weight somehow, I don't know how they would do that, but if they were, my strategy might change. But it would still be to win. If that means catching a bunch of 2-pounders, that's what I'm going to do because I like to win. Period. Several people throwing buzzbaits in topwater. When will that play at Fork? It can play real soon if you get a big enough warming trend. I don't think this little 2-day trend is going to be big enough to get any kind of a topwater bite going on. But anytime you start getting for me, it's kind of like when I start getting about a 10-degree difference between the backs of the pockets and the main lake, that's when I start really thinking about topwater. Like if I go to the back of a pocket and it's it's 61 degrees, and the main lake out at the mouth of the pocket's 51 degrees, there's a lot of fish extremely, extremely shallow, and topwaters will absolutely work. I don't care if it's January. I've done it in January. Right, Chris?
Yep.
Chris actually saw that go down in January.
Black buzzbait.
Many moons ago. Would you ever throw a whopper plopper during a tournament? I have. Yes, absolutely. I have thrown whopper ploppers during a tournament. A whopper plopper is a great bait. A great bait. What are your thoughts on the ShareLunker program? I think it's one of the most innovative and noble efforts that any government-run outdoors group has ever done for the sport of bass fishing. Maybe the most innovative and concentrated effort to grow the sport and help the sport of bass fishing. If you look at what's happened in the state of Texas since the inception of the ShareLunker program in the 80s, There's no doubt that Texas Parks and Wildlife has done a phenomenal job of improving the bass fishing in the state. The average bag weight, the big bag weight, the number of big fish, all that has skyrocketed. They've done a really good job. I'm a big fan of the ShareLunker program. James Kelly says he's looking forward to fishing Forks In with you. Man, me too, buddy. Looking forward to it myself. Can't wait to get out there. How shallow am I running lately? As shallow as I can get on warming trend days. Like when the water's been warming and all that stuff, yeah, we're going extremely shallow. Basically what we're doing when it's not doing that, when it's cooling off, we're just going to the first drop, the first outside grass edge, the first little piece of deeper water that's close to the cover that we're using really shallow, and concentrating on that area. That can be a 2-foot range, and that can be a 5-foot range. I'm about to sneeze, boys. Ooh, I'm about to sneeze. Somebody says they caught an 8-pounder on the weedless poacher yesterday. That is not surprising one bit. I've been telling you guys, I'm going to keep preaching it. The weedless poacher is going to catch a lot of big fish for a lot of people. Do I frown on those who throw an Alabama rig? No. No. I would frown on myself because I'll throw the heck out of that Alabama rig. Caleb Collier says, have you ever heard of Lake Fork Guy? Would you consider fishing with him? Well, considering we caught about 32 pounds of bedfish together this March, yeah, I'll probably fish with him again. Yeah, I have fished with Lake Fork. Justin, he's an awesome guy, man. Love Justin to death. He's a great dude. Tips on controlling lipless crankbait depth with line size and ticking the top or burying it and rip it out. I'm not a big fan of burying it and ripping out. I'm always trying to just kind of tick off the tops. That's kind of my deal. And I don't control the depth with line size. I control the depth with retrieve speed. I use a 6-inch Quake 70. The reason I do is because it will vibrate very well at a very low speed, and that bait can get down pretty darn deep when you do that, especially if you use the bigger 3/4, 7/8 ounce ones. I'm usually using a 1/2 ounce most of the time, and I control it completely with the speed of my retrieve. I just slow down. As soon as I start to tick grass, I jerk it up a little bit and pick the pace up a little bit. And then I start slowing down until I tick a little grass. And that's how I do it. Just rinse, repeat that. Some of you guys crack me up. Y'all are awesome. Have I fished the Crush 50X and Black Magic Gate? Yes, I have. And ZW, my buddy Zach Watts, has fished it a bunch. ZW likes to get out there and night fish. He likes to get out there and mix him a little crown drink, kind of float around them docks and night fish. And he's fished that Black Magic color on that Crush 50X a bunch, and he has caught the fire out of them. It is a very good color, especially at night. KVD is back. Where's KVD? Kevin Van Dam is back watching the channel again. How about that? It's not like the real Kevin Van Dam, Chris. Don't calm down, Chris. Chris, calm down. Chris is getting a little too excited. He thought it was the real KVD, folks. We do have a guy named Kevin Van Dam that we've been missing because he's funny. He is so funny. Kevin Van Dam says, proud of how you've been handling some of the stuff on social media. True guide is one that's willing to help others. Man, I appreciate that. You know, that's what we're going to be about. And that's why, like, you haven't heard me refer to any of it here tonight. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff going around. It's not usual. I mean, it's not unusual. They keep elevating it and escalating it. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm here to fish and help others catch more fish, and I'm going to help you guys as much as I can, like I've tried to do since the beginning, and I'm never, ever, nothing's going to stop that. Like, nothing is going to stop that. And those guys make just some straight up lies, and they just don't care what they seem to make. Like, a lot of the stuff they say is just literally zero truth. It's not even a hint of truth in it. And that's how they want to operate, and that's their prerogative. I want to operate by trying to help you guys catch as many and as big a fish as I possibly can. I feel like that's my total calling in life as a fishing guide, is to do that for everybody that I can. If I can do it with you in a boat as a customer, that's awesome. That helps me pay the bills. If I can do it right here on YouTube or any other way, I still love to do it. I do it because I love it, not because I want to make a lot of money, because you're not going doing the guide business. That's like, I could run 365 guide trips a year. The expenses and everything that goes into it, I'm not going to get rich, boys. Like, it's not going to happen. And neither are they, by the way. They're not either, so I don't know what they're so wound up about. We should all be happy. We're fishing. What is the best place to stay when coming to Fish Fork? Lake Fork Marina has what I would call the nicest lodging options. Great tackle store, great marina, great restaurant, all that good stuff, right in one location. Oak Ridge Marina is also a very viable option. They have very good rooms for a very fair price. They probably have the best tackle store on the lake, and they've got a great restaurant as well, ramp, all that stuff, same deal. The lodging's a little nicer at Lake Fork Marina, I think, a little more upscale. But both work just fine, and the tackle store's maybe a little bit better at Oak Ridge, but man, you can't go wrong with either one of them. South Louisiana here, going to fish the new poacher in the rivers this season. What should you fish it with? Rod, line, etc. I fish it, the poacher, on the 7.5 extra heavy 6 cents Lux rod, 20-pound fluorocarbon. That's what I like to fish the poacher on. Now, down there in South Louisiana, if you're in like a marsh that has like if you're down in Atchafalaya, whatever, how you say that?
Atchafalaya Basin.
Boy, he sounded just like one of you South Louisiana boys. The Atchafalaya Basin, down there in the swamplands, and you got like some really heavy cypress knees, lily pads, heavy, thick vegetation, stuff like that. Especially if you got a bunch of pad stems, you might go to like 50-pound braid, 65-pound braid. I usually like to fish on 20-pound fluorocarbon when I feel like I can get away with it. Where did I get the camo 6 cents hat? From 6centsfishing.com. Well, of course. I like the multicam hat, black snapback. I actually had this one. This was actually a Billy Lawson creation. Like, I specifically asked one of the guys that I know that works down there to give me a multicam hat with American flag patch on it, because I like camo. Like, I used to be in Marine Corps. I'm kind of like a camo guy. It's kind of my thing, and I really like America. So I wanted to put those two things together, and this is my favorite hat right here. I love this hat. But yeah, dude, they got all kinds of awesome hat options. 6centsfishing.com. Be sure you punch in that code, your Lake Fork Guide, in the little promo box on the checkout screen. Get 10% off that order when you go to 6centsfishing.com. Please talk more about the temperature comment you made using the lipless bait, the first bait in the top 5. So, especially when the water starts cooling. Like right now, the water temperature is climbing. It's rising. We got a warming trend going on. And it will continue to climb through tomorrow. Now, tomorrow evening, we've got a cold front coming. So when Saturday gets here, the water will be cooling off. Now, it takes a little time for that water to turn over and start cooling. So on Saturday, it may not be quite the deal. But once that water starts really dropping back down temperature-wise, the lipless crankbait really comes into play and becomes kind of like all this week we were kind of on a cooling trend. Well, that lipless crankbait was my best deal. Like, it was my most consistent bite getter this week. So, to me, that lipless crankbait really shines when the water cools back off after a warming trend. It's like your best option, I think. What are the current lake temps? They're kind of ranging around in the mid-50s region right now. I'd be down. Mr. Justin Wood says that he would be down for a vets tournament. Navy vet here. First, awesome idea. I don't know when I'm going to fit it in my schedule, but I love that idea. And Ronnie Kelly's also a vet, and I would love to put something like that together. Get a couple of you guys, one to fish with me, one to fish with Ronnie, and do it like a team tournament, veterans tournament. That would be a phenomenal idea. I really like that idea. If I can find time to squeeze it in and do something with it, I'm going to try to do that. But more importantly, what I really need you to understand as a Navy vet is that the Marine Corps is it's a department of the Navy. It's just a department of the Navy, and I want you to make sure that you understand that it's the men's department. Glad that we got that figured out, squared away. Appreciate it. Is it a bad idea to throw around a frog in the morning? Maybe. It's not a big enough warm. I don't know, man. That's hard to say. You never know. But I mean, I'm not thinking about throwing a frog tomorrow. That's not what I'm thinking about. But I mean, hey, you never know. I'm unpackaging a box full of 6 cents lures right now, bought using the Year Lake Fort Guide discount. Tom G wins MVP. Oh, my hand started shaking. Tom G wins the MVP of the live stream for tonight, boys, because he used the discount code to buy a box full of 6 cents fishing products, and I really appreciate that, and so does 6 cents. Rangers lead the way. Yep, Rangers do lead the way. Love you Army guys too, man. Listen, we all rag on each other, but at the end of the day, we're on the same team, and I got your back, even over the rest of these old civilians around here in the country. But when it comes to Army versus Marines, you know how that goes down. You know what I've got to say about that. And a lot of things I can't say on this live stream right now. We'll just save that for the tournament meeting, I guess. We would love to have you. If we do end up getting this tournament together, that's a really good idea. I really like that idea. Kevin Van Dam, what's the magic tip number when you start looking for those beds? To me, it's around 58 degrees. I have found them in 56 degrees, but it was like after the water got warm, cooled back down just a little bit, I think the fish were already committed to beds. The big deal is having like 58 degree water and a moon phase, which we have in a few days. The problem is by the time the moon phase gets here, the water's going to be cool trending again. It might be below 58, and then they may not really do it. Like, there'll probably be a few that'll do it. It'll be real hard to see. They'll be in the northern end of that dirty water, all that stuff. So as far as sight fishing goes, don't know that that's really going to be a viable option until the next moon phase, 2 weeks from now. That's when it'll probably get going, where you can actually go out and target fish on beds when the new moon comes in early March. If we get a little bit of warming trends, we get a little bit more warm water, we get up around that 58, 60 degree mark, that could be the deal when it starts. And then that full moon on March 20th this year is going to be a big deal, guys. That full moon on March 20th is going to be sight fishing, going to really get going heavy. And then the new moon in early April is when it's going to be like, man, it's everywhere. The whole lake spawning. Like that's going to be probably how it happens this year. Somebody said the only good Marine is a submarine. Yeah, until a fight breaks out. Then you're like, where the Marines at, dog? How you think it will be around April 11th to 15th when we all come? I think, for the swim bait deal. That's Jason Nicholas. Okay. Yeah, for the swim bait event that you guys are doing, like the 13th, 14th, whatever that is, in April, there will definitely be a swim bait bite, no doubt about it. You'll be able to catch them on little to big swim baits, and sight fishing will definitely be an option if you want to sight fish while you're there. Like it's on. Like most of the fish on the lake are shallow at that time. What baits am I going to throw shallow tomorrow? Shallow tomorrow, I'm definitely going to throw that little underspin swim bait. I'm definitely going to be having that Cinco ready to go. Especially if I get in calmer areas where the wind's not really blowing. And the Movement 80X is going to be a player for me as well. Like all these baits that I've got, I'm going to be throwing that I showed you all top 5. But those 3 are probably going to be my first 3 that I pick up. Will I disclose any areas with Hydrilla right now? Well, here's the deal. I'm not going to disclose the areas with Hydrilla, but what I will tell you is that we do offer a subscription to the Fish Life app. And if you subscribe to that, you will be able to click on those areas and see the descriptions. And it has a lot of areas on there that are holding grass. Now, there's not much Hydrilla, but there is some coontail areas. There's some Hydrilla mixed in a couple of them. But it will tell you where the good, healthy grass is in the backs of these pockets and creeks. Giving away spots for free, not so much something I can really do, man. I gotta make money somehow. We don't charge that much when we charge. We never charge more than $1 a spot on that Fish Life app. So I really hope that you check that out. I hope it helps you, and I hope you enjoy it, man. I hate to be that way, but that's I gotta have some business involved in this deal. How is the weather looking for the 1st of March for water temp? Don't know. I don't think the weatherman can forecast it out that far. Man, it's Texas. We could have the first week of March, it would be 32 degrees, and this lot would be 82 degrees, and you just don't know. It can change. Like, they may forecast it for one, and it changes to the opposite, but that's just too much advanced. I don't have any idea what the weather's going to be doing then. Texas rig, Cinco, or Wacky. I am rigging it weightless Texas rig on a 3/0 or 4/0 EWG hook on the 5-inch stick bait. Have a buddy fishing a high school tournament this weekend at Palestine. Do we have any suggestions for him? Typically this time of year on Palestine, it's go to the north end. Like go to Kickapoo, go to back of Flat Creek, go to Cades Lake. What's it called? School bus, Chris?
Yeah, school bus hole.
Yeah, what's that other? Old Folks. Old Folks is another good one. And for me personally, traditionally the best bait this time of year is to use spinner baits with some kind of big blades on it. Chartreuse and white spinner baits with big blades on them. I like a big old willow blade. Some people like the Colorado, but spinner baits with big blades have traditionally been my best bait this time of year on Palestine. But man, I wouldn't knock a chatterbait and a red trap. That can do the deal too, for sure. But definitely the north end's where the big bags get caught this time of year. Is Texoma going to be on the app sometime? We have a guy we're trying to work with. We've had some issues scheduling-wise, getting him on the water consistently at Texoma where we know that we've got quality information, good enough information to sell you guys. We're not going to put a product out there that's not going to be beneficial and be the best thing that we can do to help you guys. That's what we're... The product that you get is absolutely the best it can be. And right now, we do have a guy that wants to work with us on Texoma that I trust and I know really well. But it's taking a little time to get the schedule worked out, get him on the water enough to where we got really good information. So making sure we do it right, it's taking a little time. We do plan on having Texoma on the app. Man, you guys are rocking it tonight. There's a ton of you guys still here. We're over 30 minutes in. It's time to wrap it up. I hate to do it because y'all are still asking a bunch of questions, and I apologize for the ones I didn't get to. Do my best to get to you next time. I will be replying to comments to notify the winners of the giveaway contest for Smash Tech. Really appreciate all you guys joining us tonight. Appreciate you guys so much for everything that y'all do. Following us and understanding with some of the junk that goes on if you're local and you hear some of the stuff that may or may not get said or whatever. Really appreciate you guys understanding and seeing through some of that garbage and just seeing that we're focusing on what's important. We're going to focus on helping you guys catch more and bigger fish, having as much fun as we can while we do it, and that's what we will always stand for around here. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time right here on your Lake Fork Guide.